Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the Empowerment Exchange. And today I want to talk about a topic that actually was triggered by a podcast that I recently heard. And it was a question that was asked. And the question was, what would you do in your life if you knew that you had no possibility of failing? And I thought, oh my gosh, what would I do? So I wanted to come on today and really talk about how to unleash the fearless woman that's inside of you and to embrace a life without limits. So I have my notes as always. So if you see me looking away, understand that it's just, I have such good information and good thoughts that I want to share with you that I've written down. So I want to make sure I don't miss any of that. But in a world that often reminds us of the limitations that are around us, what would you do if you knew that you couldn't fail? If you think about that, it really opens up the doors to unlimited possibilities in your life. And for many women, the answer really to that question is, you know what? I'm not going to just daydream about that. I'm going to really dig inside kind of deep. What are my aspirations? What is it in my life that I really want to do? And I mean, really want to do. And as I've evolved as a person and I've grown through what I've gone through, I kind of live life full throttle. I no longer sit and say, well, what if? I just go and do it. And some of the things that's kind of crazy. Now, there's some things that I don't just like go and do because I'm either terrified of going and doing them. But I try to embrace a limitless life because, I walk around, I have a mirror in my purse, I have a mirror in my desk. And anytime I start to doubt myself and I start listening through the negative thoughts or what's coming into my mind, I whip that mirror open. I'm like, you are your only limit. You are it. The person you see in this mirror. And every time, and I've started to do that with myself when I start to question. Now, there are some things, if it's going and doing something in another country or speaking on a specific stage, well, now, granted, those take steps. There are opportunities and doors you have to walk through for those. But in my life, I have really dug deep and I am trying to live my life limitless. So today, I want to really talk to you about how to embrace a mindset that is free from fear and free from the fear of failure and really help you harness that and transform your life. So let's talk about the power of what if. The question of what you would do if you knew you couldn't fail serves as a tool to bypass any mental barriers that we might have and any self-imposed limitations that we put on ourselves or that we allow other people to put on us. Because I can tell you, I'm 53, turned 53 this year, and probably for about half of my life, I was living under the criticism or under the imposed, you should do this from other people. And it took me a while to figure it out. It took me a while to realize, hey, wait a minute. I've got a say in this. I have a voice, and my voice is the only voice that should matter in my life. So that took me some time. But as we get older, I think and the experiences that we have, I've had a couple very near death experiences in my life. And I think when you have those things that happen in your life, you gain a brand new perspective for time is short, time is precious. And we have a life on this earth to live and that we should live it to the fullest. And I try to live my life in a way where I am honoring of, myself, what I want. I'm honoring of my husband and our family. And I'm also mindful of people around me. I just generally try to live my life as a good person, a good wife, a good mother, a good coach, a good daughter. I just try to live my life the way that I feel is the best version of me. So I have learned to push against my own limits, and I want to encourage you to do the same thing. So for many women, societal pressures, maybe some gender specific roles that we were assigned with, as far as, you're going to be a mom, you're going to be a wife, you're going to be a homemaker, you're going to be specific things that were aligned with being a woman. Maybe that is where we felt that that's what we were supposed to do. That's where we were supposed to live. That was the box that we were supposed to stay in. But I want you to kind of look past that And if I asked you the question of, I'm going to remove any chance of you failing when you go out and you do A, B, C, D, whatever it is, what is it that you would step out and do? By removing that fear, you're going to have just transformative change in your life. And I'm going to hopefully instill in you the ability to use a mindset of, I'm going out here. I can do anything. I have abundance mindset. I have a growth mindset, because I think that's so important. So when failure is out of the picture, dreams get really big, like huge. And would you start your own business maybe? Is that something you would do? Because when I ventured out to start my own business over 2 decades ago, I was scared, whatless. And it hasn't been easy peasy, lemon squeezy my whole life. But because I continued to challenge myself and I knew the direction in which I wanted to go, I made the decision, and I've stayed in the decision of being a business owner. I have had really big companies come to me and say they wanted to hire me into C-level positions in the financial world. Same thing on the coaching. I've been asked to be parts of big platforms that I could come on as a coach. I wanted to stay true to what I set my mind up to and my soul up to, which was running my own business and doing things in a way that I knew I wanted to best serve the women that I was called to serve. So, or maybe you would go back to school, or would you write a book? I've just released my 4th best-selling book. I have another book that's going to be coming out at the end of this year. And then somebody is actually writing a story about me, my own life. And that's very exciting. So yes, check that box off for myself. I have written a book. Or maybe travel the world. Are you someone? I like to travel, but I feel as though you should be able to get anywhere in the world you want to get within 4 hours. So there are some places in this world I will probably only ever see on Google Earth or through the internet. And I'm okay with that, because I'm claustrophobic. I think it's almost like I'm at like a 4 hour, 6 hour most is all I can handle being on an airplane. So there may be just some areas, but maybe for you, traveling the world is exactly what you would want to do. These aren't just idle dreams. They are potential realities. You can potentially start a business if you haven't. You can write a book. You can travel the world. You can go back to school. So I want you to realize that if you just shift your mindset and allow yourself to think about your aspirations not as distant possibilities, but as achievable goals, and start walking into them. Often the first barrier to achieving our dreams isn't external. It's in here. It's in here. It's this little voice that is telling us, no, you cannot do that. And in my life, those little voices happen to be from people who were very close to me. And I had to learn over the course of my life to silence those little voices, because I look at my life now and man, sometimes I am so humbled by all of the incredible opportunities I've had in my life. Humbled. Like I can remember still the days of praying for what I currently have in my life. So it goes to show you, when you remove limits and you manifest in your life, things happen. Beautiful, beautiful things happen. So what if that voice, that internal voice, just fell silent? Without any fear of failure, your dreams can stretch far beyond your current boundaries. You may aspire to do the things that we talked about with writing a book or starting a business. And I just want you to understand that the key to really allowing your ambitions to flow really freely is getting out of your own way and untethering the possibility of not succeeding. So let's talk about overcoming some barriers. Identifying what you would do if you couldn't fail also helps pinpoint the barriers that are currently standing in your way. Whether it's maybe some financial constraints, maybe it's a lack of support that you have in people in your life, or maybe there's even some personal insecurities. Knowing these barriers give you a clear set of challenges to overcome. For example, if your dream is to become an artist, but the fear of rejection stops you, Guaranteeing success might push you to finally showcase your work, or maybe to seek out professional training, to go through art classes. I can tell you there's something for me. I have quite a few personal insecurities. If you follow me, you know I've shared them a lot. My biggest one now, like I have been asked to speak in a lot of stages, and I have. But a lot of them, I've not spoken on a stage since I've had Guillain-Barré syndrome. And my legs have healed differently. I'm supposed to be wearing what's called AFO braces on my legs because as the paralysis took over, there were certain areas of my legs that atrophied, and not walking on them for a very long time, and then learning to walk again, and my legs trying to learn how to rewire themselves, or the pathways. My legs have healed differently, and I have to get my AFO braces adjusted, and I have to make sure that I'm wearing them as often as possible. But anybody who's had to wear them consistently know that they're not the most comfortable things in the world. So I am very self-conscious of my legs. So I have been offered a very big opportunity to speak on stage, a very big opportunity that is a paid opportunity. And in my mind, all I can think about are my legs. Are my legs going to be different? Somebody's going to be able to look and see her legs aren't exactly the way they should be. And because my feet, I still have I can't feel my heels. I can't feel some of my toes. That could be a permanent thing. So when I wear certain shoes, they're not comfortable. So the only type of shoes that I have been able to find are Skechers is a beautiful brand, and they've gotten a little blingy with their stuff. So in some of my evening gowns for some of the events, I can hide them underneath of them. Or I have sandals, and I've tried to get the little decorative ones and all that, because they're the only type of shoes I can wear. I cannot wear high heels. I probably never will be able to again in my life, and that's okay. There's certain shoes I just can't wear. So rather than me looking at it and saying, my story is so powerful and I know it's going to touch the lives of so many people, I am insecure about my legs. Hello, all, my legs. So you'll see me wearing skirts. You'll see me. So I share all of that to say, if you would remove that, like from me, I would be like on every stage in every country as often as possible. Now, I have had some interviews, and I have just asked them, like, hey, listen, if you're going to take pictures, take them from the legs up, or the knees up. It's funny how you adapt to certain things, but that's how I'm currently overcoming it. Right. I'm currently overcoming it by wearing skirts or trying to do different things. So I'm sharing all this with you because, yes, I've had a very successful career. I'm a very accomplished person. However, I still have my own personal insecurities. And I still can tell you, if that was removed, I would be speaking on every stage possible. So I'm working towards it. So when you see pictures of me and you see that the pictures are either waist up or knees up, remember this conversation that we had. But again, taking out that personal insecurity or taking out the barriers that are there and knowing what they are will give you a path forward on how you can really hone in on overcoming them. And empowerment really comes from taking action. Action is the foundation of feeling empowered, no matter what it is that you're doing in your life. Each step taken towards a goal just reinforces the belief in your ability and builds your confidence. For women especially, we struggle with feelings of self-worth and self-doubt and battling, expectations. Taking action in our lives can be completely empowering. It's about reclaiming control over your life and making decisions for yourself, by yourself. If you didn't think that you could fail, you would be making really bold choices in your life. I have made some really bold choices in the last decade of my life, and they have all turned out to be really great decisions and the right decisions for me. So if you had a safety net of guaranteed success, choices become what truly matters to you, not what is deemed most likely to succeed and not what other people think that you should be doing. This maybe could mean changing your job, going back to school, moving to a new country. Each bold step taken without fear can significantly alter your life's path. leading to fulfillment and unexpected opportunities. My husband and I are both going through some major shifts in our lives right now. We're both going through some pretty intense growth spurts. I thought growth spurts were over when you were younger, but where I'm going with where I want to be in my career and what I'm doing, and his own personal growth and what he's doing, and we're both in this really exciting phase of our lives. We're both growing as a couple and as individuals, and we are boldly stepping into areas of our lives that maybe before we wouldn't have chosen to do, but we're doing it, and we're doing it together. And I think that that's really, it's powerful when you can do it by yourself. It really is, but it's even more empowering when you have somebody by your side cheering you on. And then knowing that you cannot fail would likely amplify your voice in advocacy or in leadership. Women are powerful agents of change. And without the fear of failure, you could drive efforts into education, gender equality, and beyond. Leadership doesn't only transform your own life, it also inspires and empowers other people to transform their lives. And that's why I do what I do every day. I have taken my wounds, you turned them into wisdom to help other women move through their life, whether they're moving through the divorce or they're moving through career changes or moving through, coming here from another country, whatever that is, I'm here to help them. I'm here to stand by their side, hold their hand, go through this together, because I've used my life and I have used what has happened to me and the things that I have overcome to really be kind of the survival guide for somebody else going through the same situation. And I know that when I choose to show up and to be empowered and to use affirmations and to be transparent and to show the ugly in my life, I know that inspires other women, and I know that inspires other people. And this past week, I was with Lisa Nichols in West Hollywood doing a book signing for a book that I just did with her and some other amazing authors from across the world. That was a very full circle moment in my life. And I've shared this in a post before. Lisa has been inspiring my life since 2006. And to be able to spend time with her, to get to know her, to call her my friend, to work on a project with her, to be sitting at a table next to this person who inspired me for almost 2 decades of my life, when I was being a single mom and going through that, when I was going through my challenges, and she was there, and we didn't even know each other, but she was uplifting me through the television screen and through the computer and doing the things that she did. To be able to sit down and work on something with her. You want to talk about embracing a life without limits. If you would have told me years ago when I first started watching her and just pulling in off of her energy that I would be doing something one day and hugging her in Hollywood and celebrating with her and laughing with her and crying with her, I would have told you were crazy. But I've chosen to embrace a life without limits. So when you decide to step in and make bold decisions and lead and advocate and do the things that you're doing, you can make a significant difference. And you know what? You can do it. It's not just some pipe dream. It's not some, oh, I'm just going to daydream about it. It'll never happen to me. You can make it happen. You have to look out for the opportunities that are around you. You have to step through the doors that are outside of your comfort zone. You have to believe in yourself that you can do it. And you have to surround yourself with the people that believe that you can do it. And without the risk of failing, you may approach relationships in your life differently, deepening existing ones or going after new relationships without fear of rejection or conflict. This can lead to a richer, more meaningful connection with someone in your family, with a friend, with a partner, with a colleague, with a boss. If you didn't feel that you would fail if you spoke out or advocated for yourself or shared your feelings, if you didn't feel that you were going to fail, what would you say? How would you deepen those relationships? And imagine pursuing a path of personal and professional development without the fear of stumbling. Each experience becomes a stepping stone, not a setback. This mindset encourages lifelong learning and growth, and which are essential components to a fulfilled life. And you know what? Going through life, we're gonna fail. We're gonna make mistakes. As long as you fail forward, you keep the momentum in your life moving. It's okay if you have a setback, learn from it. It's okay to sit down and have a woe is me moment, as long as it doesn't last longer than 3 minutes or the length of a good country song. Only allowed to sit in that emotion for about 3 minutes. Put a timer on your phone, listen to a good country song, cry your eyes out, brush yourself off, move forward. So remember, it's okay to sit in a woe is me moment as long as it doesn't last longer than a country song. Asking yourself what you would do if you couldn't fail opens up a panorama of potential in your life. And for women everywhere, I just want you to do this experiment. It's not just about imagining success in various endeavors in your life, in various areas of your life. It's about reevaluating your relationship with fear and your relationship with the fear of failure. So I want to encourage all of you who are watching this. I want you to unleash that fearless woman that's inside of you. And I want you to embrace a life without limits. And if you're not sure where you want to go, if you're not sure how to get there, but you are ready to step into that extraordinary life, you're ready to live your incredible, you need to connect with me. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, send me a message. If you're following me on Instagram, send me a message. If you need to send me an email, jennifer@shirocoaching.com, please send me a message. I will be happy to come alongside you and provide you a blueprint and cheer you on as you figure out that limitless life that you want to live. So I will be back again with another empowerment exchange. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have an empowered